Hello, crystals. Welcome back to my channel. Today brings another beautiful and wonderful story filled with African culture, village traditions, royal drama, and powerful life lessons. If you love African tales, village legends, kings, queens, and unforgettable stories, then you've come to the right place. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another incredible story. Now, dim the lights, relax your mind, and journey with me into today's tale. In the village of Duduosun, deep within Nigeria, life was ruled by tradition, culture, and the palace of a young king. The king, Kingsley Adeyemi, was only 25 years old. He had recently lost his father, King Femi Adeyemi, who died peacefully of old age. Before his passing, the old king made one final wish, that his son would marry and continue the royal lineage. After his father's death, Kingsley made a solemn promise. He would choose a queen. The king summoned the town crier and gave him a message. The king is seeking a wife. 13 young women will be selected from the village to compete for the crown. The announcement spread quickly. Excitement filled the village as preparations began for the royal festival scheduled for the next day. Among the young women were two best friends, Bisi and Samara. Bisi was bold, strong, and confident, with the grace of a dancer and the spirit of a warrior. She always stood up for Samara whenever she was bullied. Samara, on the other hand, was gentle, soft-spoken, and elegant. She was so delicate in nature that people often described her as someone who could break from a harsh word. There was also Samantha, a beautiful but greedy young woman who desired the crown more than anything. She was willing to do anything, even destroy others, to become queen. On the day of the festival, 50 girls gathered at the palace grounds. The king observed silently as they danced, spoke, and presented themselves. But his expression changed when Bisi and Samara stepped forward. Out of the 50 contestants, 13 were chosen. Mirabel Randall, Samantha Adeyemi, Lara Ada, Joy Alabi, Cynthia Obi, Success Okafor, Blessings Taju, Florence Emmanuel, Bisola Lawal, Bisi, Samara George, Emanuela Joe, Linda John, Joyce Maxwell. Bisi and Samara were overjoyed to be among the chosen few. The king announced that the final decision would be made after one last test of character. 3 finalists emerged: Bisi, Samara, and Samantha. The next day, the king disguised himself as a poor beggar and visited each of their workplaces in the village square. Bisi owned a small food stall. Samara worked in an Ankara fabric shop. Samantha owned a snack kiosk. The disguised king first approached Bisi and asked for food. Bisi hesitated for a moment, worried about her profits. Then she sighed and said, "It will reduce my earnings, but you need help. Take it." She gave him food anyway. Next, he went to Samara's shop and asked for fabric. Without hesitation, Samara helped him and treated him kindly. Finally, he approached Samantha and asked for water. Samantha scoffed. "You thief! I saw you begging from those foolish girls. Get out of my sight before I call the guards." She insulted him loudly, drawing the attention of the market women. Embarrassed and angry, she slapped him when he asked again. The crowd joined in mocking him. Bisi quickly rushed over to defend him, pushing back the crowd and helping him up. Samara followed, trying to calm the situation. Neither of them knew he was the king. The next day, the 3 finalists were summoned to the palace. The king stood before them and revealed the truth. I was the beggar you all met yesterday. I came to test your hearts. Samantha collapsed in shock, realizing what she had done. The king continued. Bisi, you showed compassion even when it cost you. That is true leadership. You will be my queen. Samantha was declared banished from the village and sentenced to 2 years of farm labor before leaving. She begged for mercy, but it was already too late. Samara was praised for her kindness and told she would learn and grow alongside the queen. Bisi was crowned queen shortly after, and preparations for the royal wedding began. Samara later found love and married a kind man, beginning her own peaceful life. Samantha, far away in Manhattan, worked as a cook in a wealthy household, reflecting on the choices that changed her destiny forever. 2 years later, Queen Bisi gave birth to a daughter named Pelumi. She was brave, strong, and courageous like her mother. And in the palace, peace reigned under the rule of a queen chosen not for beauty or ambition, but for kindness and character. And that brings us to the end of today's story. What would you have done if you were in that situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another African tale filled with wisdom, culture, and life lessons. Thank you for watching. And remember, sometimes the greatest treasure is not beauty, wealth, or power, but a good heart. Until our next story, stay blessed, stay kind, and keep the spirit of storytelling alive.